What's up, YouTube? Jason S here from coincrafters.net, and today I just wanted to make a quick video to show you how I do a high polished silver shine on my coin rings. So I got a few orders for some polished silver finishes today, so I'm just gonna make a short little quick video to show you how I quickly polish these up. Alright, so the first thing that we're going to do is as soon as you're done crafting the ring, you're going to have lots of fire scale and dirt and fingerprints all over it. So you're going to clean up with some fine steel wool. It's the first thing that I do. Some really fine. This is 5.0. You can get 4.0 at your local stores. And you're just going to hit it real quick with the steel wool. That'll get most of that off of there. Start shining it up. Only takes a second. Get the inside. You set your steel wool down like this and get the rim. Alright, for the second part, after you already got your ring cleaned up with the fine steel wool, I have a little setup here with a mini vise, and inside the vise I put the large Dremel polishing circles. They're about that big around, and what I do is I cut a semicircle out of the top of them. I don't know if you can see that. So I kind of make it a semicircle so that the ring will fit down in there nicely. And then I'm going to take my drill with my mandrel on there. Like so. Now what I use to polish is Mother's mag and aluminum polish. That's what I found that works the best. Just get you a little dab. Rub it right on the polishing pads. Put some on the ring. You're going to spin this on it for about 20-30 seconds. It don't take long. You want to make sure you go back and forth. Make sure you get the whole thing like this. Flip it over and get the rim. You're also going to want to make sure you put some kind of thick tape around your vise if you're doing it this way, so in case you actually do accidentally slip off of here, you're not going to hit metal to metal and tear up your ring. Flip it around, get the other rim. After you've hit it with the Mother's polish, what I like to do, I have one of these jewelry steamers. If you don't have one, you can just skip this step and use some denatured alcohol or some kind of a spirits to clean this up a little bit more, but I'm just going to hit it with some quick steam. It's just easy. I think I just steamed up my camera, but see, that cleans it up pretty good, even further. Get some of that that compound, that rubbing compound over there, that polishing compound. And pretty much the final step is you're going to take your polishing cloths I use these double-sided ones made by Clonosaurus, I think. Use the white side first. Just to finish this off, it puts a really nice high shine on these things. You can see that. Just makes them look really nice. You can even leave this on your drill and just hold your polishing cloth around it, just spin it in your fingers if you want. Oops. That works too. Then you're gonna hit it with the pink side. See that high polished silver shine on there? It's a really nice looking. And that's it. That's all there is to it. If you want to see any of my other rings, make sure you check me out on coincrafters.net. See all the different products I carry. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time. What's up, YouTube and CRC members? Jason S here from coincrafters.net. I'm going to do one of my powder coated Morgan silver dollar rings today, like this one. So I thought I'd make a quick video on my process of how I do it. I know some people make rings different, but it's probably going to be a two-part video because I'm going to do the whole process, including actually crafting the Morgan silver dollar ring first, and then the second part will actually be the powder coat process, and I'll go through that step by step as well in part 2. So yeah, let's get to it. So our first step is going to be, of course, to put a hole in the middle of the coin to start with. I use Jason Works, Jason Stinchfield's punch. There's lots of different tool makers that make these punches, but I like this one the best. And you can also just drill your hole or use a lathe to cut your hole, but this is just quickest and easiest for me. You can get this at jasonworks.etsy.com, and I'm using a 3/4 punch for this one. I use blue shop towel so I don't scratch up my details here. Now you should use a brass hammer preferably for this, but I just broke mine, so I'm using a regular hammer. You want to use a brass one so you don't tear up your punches. Or you can use your Harbor Freight 610 press to pop the punch through instead, but this is just faster. Take your rubber mallet. And there's your hole. Alright, now we're going to make our initial fold with the big stainless cone. I like to put the initial one in there before I anneal it. As soon as I'm done with this, I will go anneal it and I'll come back and work it some more. But I like to get one press in before I anneal. Not too far. Maybe a quarter of the way down, if that. About that much. Now we're going to go anneal and come right back. Know how well you can see that. When I get to a really soft, dull red, not a really bright glowing red. If you get a really bright glowing red, that's too much heat. Do your quench, dry it off, and we'll go back to the press. Get lined up back in your die and keep going with the big cone. I pretty much for Morgans only use the big cone, and they come out really well. Make sure that stays even in there. Now it is fully folded down into this die as far as it will go. So we'll go over here. Give it one good pull on the stretcher just to widen this out a little bit more here so it'll fit down in our Swede dies better. Now if you're doing the 5/8 punch, you may not need to give it a pull with this, but the 3/4, it helps fit down in there better if you get one pull on the stretcher. Alright. Back over here to anneal one more time. Now we're going to change our dyes over to the Swedish wrap dyes. This is how I like to do my Morgans now anyway. There's several different ways to do coin rings, of course. You don't have to do it this way. This is just my method. There's no wrong way to make a coin ring this day. There is, of course, lots of ugly ways to make coin rings, but there's no wrong way. So we'll get our, actually before I do that, I want to give it one good press, facing down like this, and that's just so that it will fit down here inside this lip just a little bit better to start with. Because with the 3/4 punch, sometimes it's still a little bit too big to fit down there first into the Swede wrap. Just a little press, not much. Alright, now we'll switch that over to our Swede wrap. Do a shot of lithium grease. Keep it lubed up. Gotta be 3 layers of blue shop towels. I cut them into circles about this big. Just put it on top of your die like that. Set your coin ring on top of it there. Start folding your towel in around the edges. There you go. Now you're going to grab your biggest plunger. Put it right on top of there. And give it a good press. Take that one all the way down to the first witness line right there. Take that plunger out. Gonna go to our second biggest plunger. Get it lined up in there in the middle. Give that a press. All the way down till you can't go no more because it's hitting the top. Then we'll put another plunger on top of it. Give that a good press. Down to about the 4th witness line or so from the top. Whoops. Now this one's probably going to be, I'm going to make this for my middle finger, so I think my middle finger is between 11 or 11.5. So that might be about as far down as I want to go. Maybe give it one more smaller die. I mean a smaller plunger. You definitely don't want to take it all the way down to the bottom unless you're doing a size like 9 or 10. I'll just get one tiny little more push here. You can see down in there, it's about right here. So now we're going to flip the Swede die over upside down, put that just like that, and pop it out of there. And there's your shop towel biscuit. This is how I do it. You can do it with the Teflon tape, of course. I'm sure you guys have seen those videos. but this is so much easier for me. Top just pops off like that. Pull the towel off the side, and you can see it hasn't touched the detail one bit. Perfect shape. That's how it went in. Hasn't messed up the reed at all. It's all perfect. This is the way I've done it for over 200 or 300. We're gonna try more than that now with this method, and it works perfect every time for me. I don't need the Teflon. Alright, next step is we are going to re-anneal this again before we start working anymore, because after you get down with the Swede wrap, they're pretty work hardened. Again, until it's just a soft, dull, glowing red. You don't want it bright red. Quench. Dry it off. And back to the press. So now we're gonna start folding what's left of this edge here down. We're gonna compress that down some more. So we're gonna go with the 17-degree die. I've pretty much been using these exclusively for the Morgans now, is these 17-degree. I really like these much better than the old dies. That and the ring bearer. I love this thing. I don't actually use it to push the rings through there, what they're made for, but it makes it perfect to hold these dies. So 17-degree 1.2. Give it a shot of lithium. It's just a washer I use for a cap. Clean up pressing the coin ring. Give that a good press. Spin it around, give another little press, spin it around. You can see it starting to bring that rim in. Now we're going to do the same to this side. Press, turn it, press, spin it. If you're going underneath the size 10, maybe 10 and a half, if you're going smaller than that, you probably want to put a buffer layer of shop towels down there before you squeeze that side down into it, so you don't mar up your motto here, "In God We Trust." But for you just going to size 11.5 or 11, usually you won't hit that detail. See, it's already starting to look pretty good. Actually fits my middle finger pretty good right there. So, let's see what size that is. That's about a 10.75 almost. But it'll probably end up being 11 once we carve out some of this inside rim here. I'll show you that step next. So let's go do that. Alright, so what we're going to be doing now is I like to take off the inside of this rim right here to give it more of a comfort fit, because right now that lip right there sticks up quite a bit higher than the rest of the inside of this ring. So I'm going to take this burr bit here, I'm going to go around and carve some of that out of there. And it's going to be kind of rough, but we'll go back over it with the Dremel in a little bit to smooth that out. Give yourself a little bevel around this edge. Once we smooth that out, it'll be kind of a comfort fit. Like that. Bevel this side. Just a little bit. Now we're going to grab our Dremel and we're going to go back over pretty much what we just did with the burr bit, but with a fine sanding drum, which I need a new one on here. The fine sanding drum on the Dremel, and we're just going to go back around that and smooth it out. Tilt it and smooth the edges out that you beveled. That feels pretty smooth. Now we're going to give it a little bevel to the outside. You don't have to do that. That's I don't know if you can hear me over that. But you don't have to do the next step. That's preference if you want to bevel this edge or not. Some people don't. I like to. I think it gives it more of a rounded ring look to it. Do the inside, the cut side, smooth that out, and do the outside. everything's pretty smooth. Make sure you ain't got no burrs or edges. Everything feels pretty smooth to me. You can see it's already looking pretty good. See, now that we've carved some of that out of there, may need to take it down just a hair. That's not bad. Alright, now the next step. Okay, one of the last steps that I like to do before we prep it for powder is take a thin strip of really fine, flexible sandpaper, and you take one of these rubber mandrels with the ring on it. You're going to fit this down inside the lip and spin this ring so it gives it a really super fine, smoothed out edge. See that shine right there? Just making it like a comfort fit, kind of. Can you see that? Do the outside edge too, just to smooth that out a little bit more. Looks pretty good. Take that off, flip it around to the other side. Make sure you get it on there even. There we go. Make this side comfort fit as well. Make sure you don't go too far on this side with it and hit your motto here. That's really, really smooth. That's what you want. Okay, now we're gonna make sure it's the right size first, see if we gotta do any more sizing with this. I think that's pretty good for me, for my size right there. It's probably about 11. So now we're gonna get this cleaned up with some really super fine steel wool. This is actually 5.0. I get industrial 5.0. I think the finest that you can buy in the stores is 4.0, but you can find industrial stuff on eBay. It's a little bit more expensive, but this is 5.0. Let's get that most of the way cleaned up, shined up. Your edge, your reed. The inside. Probably even hit it with a little bit of a brass brush on the Dremel, just to try to get some more of that black out of the reeds there. get a little brass brush in there, clean up these reeds right here some more, do the inside, and always make sure you're wearing safety glasses for work like this, because these little bristles right here, these brass bristles, can and they will fly off and hit you right in the eyeball. Trust me, I've done it. You don't have to do this part, but I like to give it a quick steam, just get any more dirt and fingerprints and crap off. Looking pretty good now. You can also use some denatured alcohol or acetone. Just clean it up a little bit more. You want the surface as clean as possible for the powder coat to adhere to it. So I'll just give it a quick shot of acetone too. Now after this part, you're going to want to handle the sides of this ring as least as possible. So try to hold it like that if you can. Alright, well, at this point we got a beautiful, about a size 11 coin ring. This is probably going to be the end of part 1. Part 2 I'm going to pick up with starting the powder coat process. Oh, there you go. Came out pretty nice. Alright, on to part 2. Alright, so the first step of the powder coating process is we are going to get ready to put the ring on the plug. What this plug is, you can get these silicone plugs. They're high temperature, high heat silicone plugs you get off eBay. You can get them in large packs, or you can buy just a couple at a time. And I drill a hole through mine and run some copper wire through the center. Bring it around both sides and halfway up each side like this, so that when you put slide your ring on there like this, it makes contact with both sides here. And then you also got a hanger, because when you're powder coating, you want as good of a ground as you can get for the powder to really stick. And I'll show you that here in a little bit, but I just want to show you the plug. You also want to get ready to start preheating your oven. Set that on 450, whatever your powder calls for. Get that preheated. And now what I do is where's my tape? I take high temperature special heat tape for powder coating, powder coat tape, and I like to tape off my rims. That way I don't have to go back over the reeded edge and the rims with the nail file or the sanding blocks, because it's really hard to get into those reeds and the finer details. I'll probably also tape off the wings, save me from having to do that work later. But I'm gonna go ahead and get this taped up and prepped, and then I'll be right back. Okay, we're set up and ready to spray. Got our airline connected. Got our big compressor over here. You want you a mini regulator right before the gun, so you can turn this way down so you don't spray powder all over the barn. Sometimes I do anyway, but it's okay. If you got a good enough ground, it will stick to this really fast and you won't waste a whole lot of powder. But got our oven over there preheated, ready to go. When you're ready to start wanting the powder to stick to the ring, you're going to click this button. So, alright, let's get going here. Adjust this camera where you can see. Alright, so we're going to hold the button in. You see how fast that powder sticks? It's already copper color, just like that. When it takes a split second, we'll give it a little bit of a better coat. Get the back side. That's it. That is all there is to it. Spraying the powder is the easiest part. The prep work is most of the work. And actually making the ring. Well, and doing the sanding, which I'll show you that part here in a little bit. Hang your gun up. We're gonna take this off the rack carefully. You don't want to jolt it around and knock your powder off. You don't want to touch this with your fingers. That powder will come off very easily. Hang this right here in this rack. Now the powder, this powder I believe, calls for 450 until it flows out, and then you turn it down to 400 for 20 minutes. But we're not going to do that because we want to go over this detail with the sanding block, and if you fully cure it before you do that, it's very, very tough to get off. So what we're going to do is, as soon as that powder flows out, as soon as it turns to the liquid, we will give it about 1 minute after it flows. Then we're going to pull it out, let it cure, let it cool, and from there we will sand out the details, clean it up, and then we'll put it back in the oven to fully cure after that. So as soon as this starts to flow, I'll turn this camera back on so you can see what it looks like. It's going to take a minute. And you can see it's starting to liquefy right now. It's starting to flow. It'll start getting a really high sheen on it and glisten. Then all of a sudden it'll look liquidy and not like powder anymore. It's actually pretty neat to watch the first couple times. That's what you're looking for right there. Wow, that's a really nice color. I like that. think this is gonna look really good when it's done. It's the first time I've tried this color. I just got it. This one's called Trans Copper, Translucent Copper, or Transparent Copper, I can't remember. Alright, so we're just going to let that sit in there for about 30 more seconds. And then we're going to pull that out. Alright, so pulled it out. I've let it cool down to not quite room temperature, still pretty warm, but you can handle it. And look at the color on that thing. That is an amazing color. I think that's going to be one of my favorites. So now we're going to peel all this tape off. There you go. Take off your plug. Now we're going to take our whatever you use, a sanding block. I just used a standard two-sided nail file. I used a little bit. Sometimes I'll use the rougher side, but most of the time I use the smoother side. And need to get a fresh one, but I'll show you real quick what I want to do. Start going lightly over these letters and the details, just to bring the silver through. Let's get it started here so you can see it, what it's starting to look like. See the letters coming through silver now? I'm going to do that to all the details, all the letters. It'll take you, I'll do all the wreath line here. That's going to take you 15 or 20 minutes to do the whole thing, do the bottom edge. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll be right back to show you what it looks like. Okay, so it's been probably right around 20 minutes or so, give or take. It's taken me to go over all this detail. And this is what it looks like when you're finished. Not finished with the ring, but finished with the filing and the sanding block. Looks pretty good, huh? You can see you'll have where you did around the wreath. I don't know if you can see that close up or not, but there'll be a little bit of scuffing where you were trying to file some of the fine details out of there. And that's okay, because remember, we haven't fully cured this yet, so when we pop it back in there for the final 15 minutes or so, this will flow out just a little bit again, and all that scuffing will disappear. You won't even see it. So now at this point, we only got 1 or 2 steps left. This is pretty much almost done. I'm going to take one of my normal hooks I use for protected clear and stuff like that for my normal rings. I'm just going to hook it, stick it back in the oven to cure, a full cure, for about 18 more minutes probably. We'll be back in about 17 minutes. Alright, we're back. We let that cure for 15 to 20 minutes. Let it cool off. You can also use your air hose off your compressor to cool it down quite a bit faster if you don't want to wait the whole time for it to air cool. Now you can see once you pull it out of the 400-degree oven, it will probably have discolored the rim and inside and the details a little bit, but that's okay because that's the final step. Pretty much is we're going to put it back on this mandrel and we're going to shine it back up with some really fine steel wool. And this is fully cured now, so this stuff is super durable. You can grind on that with some sandpaper and it would be pretty tough to get off. So this steel wool isn't going to hurt it. You see that shine now? Get the rim. Try to get in here and get the inside of the rim a little bit. Don't have to worry about hurting this powder coat too much at this point. It's tough. Flip it around. Get this side. Go around the inside of the band with some really fine steel wool. That is a finished powder coated Morgan silver dollar ring right there. Boy, that one came out very nice. I'm proud of that one. I love that color. That is one of my new favorite colors. And it fits perfect. If you can't see this good, I'll get some close-up pictures to put in here. Yep, there you go. This is, again, it's Jason S. from coincrafters.net. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And I'll leave a link so you guys can go check out the rest of my stuff if you want. If you want to place an order for any of my rings. And thanks for watching.